Hello everyone, Sandra Rojo, Success Mindset Coach here again with another video. This video is going to piggyback on my last video that I created, and I wanted to thank all of you for your love and support and your private messages and your questions as well. And today I will be addressing a question that someone had on a private message, and so hopefully this will be helpful to all of you. So this one person was asking me if I definitely use gratitude as something in my daily practice, and I have to say absolutely, with no doubt. I try to be as conscious as possible when it comes to gratitude. Many times what we do is we have the habit that when we're going through life transitions, major life transitions, we can forget, right? We can just sort of forget that we've got other things going on for us that are actually working in our favor. And it's not always easy to get to that point, but I definitely say that practicing gratitude, really being able to look at the things that I have versus what I do not have, and celebrating even the small wins, or celebrating the times where somebody gives us something that we are searching for. It could be an insight, it could be a conversation, it could be a gift, it could be a resource. It doesn't matter what it is. It could just be the fact of someone saying thank you for something kind that you did. While you're going through life transitions, as I am, I'm always looking for evidence that God, the universe, is always working towards my benefit. I'm not going to say it's always easy, because we can definitely get in the victim mindset many times. I admit that there were times where when I accomplished something, then I was complaining about something else, right? And I think that this takes a lot of great discipline and effort to move outside of that mindset and really have gratitude for what is coming into our lives while we are searching for direction. Sorry if the camera's shaking here a little bit. I actually do not have a tripod, so I'm trying to do the best I can to hold up my camera here. So yes, I think that gratitude is such an important value in our daily life. I want to share briefly that one of the, or two of the people that are really supporting me are my parents. They have been absolutely incredible during this period. They're in their mid to late 80s, and they have been absolutely, without fail, a great support system for me, and I'm forever grateful. I grew up as the only child, and the first 12 years of my life, I had both of my parents together. They were great parents. I think they did a really good job. They had some really good values. I think people of integrity and honesty and so forth. My mother was a stay-at-home mom. And then when my parents divorced when I was about 12, things changed tremendously, as you can imagine. And of course, as a child, I never really knew what that was going to bring. I didn't know how to process things. They didn't have, back then when I was growing up, the same kind of therapy or the same kind of sensitivities to what we have today, just in general, with trauma and loss and grief and all these things. My parents did the best they could, but I have to say that I witnessed them, also sort of become very selfish, right? And I think that happens, this is what happens when we are going through major life transitions. I can't imagine having children, to be honest with you, during such difficult times, because they're sort of like these casualties of war, so to speak. The children are always the ones to suffer, because our brains, when we're children, are not developed. And you can just imagine that if you as an adult are going through something traumatic and something very difficult, how hard it is to overcome immediately. You can just imagine a child not really being able to understand. And in those days, my parents were not very communicative, so they didn't really explain things to me. And I think they just didn't know how. It's very difficult under major life transitions to understand how to explain how we're feeling. And through the years, their selfishness, I'll say it that way, they were just busy trying to make ends meet. They were busy trying to understand where they needed to go in their life. And there was a lot of emotions, I'm sure of it, attached, right? You've got anger, you've got resentment, you have loss, your whole life is turned upside down when it's a divorce. In this case, my father moved out, and so he had to find a new place, and et cetera, et cetera. And so, I grew up, I ended up living abroad. Some of you know that I'm an Italian citizen as well, so I lived in Italy for many years, and then I came back and did my own life and so forth. Never really counting anymore on my parents, really, to be honest with you. And I did a lot of my personal development and inner growth, a lot of healing around childhood wounds, teenage wounds. It was very revealing to me because, I had always been such a good daughter and such a good girl. I come from more of a traditional type of family, and so I did what was asked of me. And I grew later to understand that I created sort of this people pleaser sort of attitude type of stuff. And, when I began to heal from that, slowly but surely, steadily, persevering in my own personal development, I have a lot of proof now that I've healed so much. My parents have come full circle, and this is sort of my gratitude for today. And what's happening to me is that I just had heard from my mother not too long ago, both of them telling me how much they love me and telling me that they back me up 100% in whatever I do. They want me to be happy, they want me to be successful. And success doesn't always have to mean sort of career success, although that's included as well, but success in life, right? To be able to know that you can come from the darkness into the light, where you can come out of this with some dignity and some integrity, and to continue living a rewarding and fulfilling and authentic life. And these major life transitions that we go through are about that, right? It's constantly the commitment, as I was saying in I think the other video, commitment to myself, and gratitude for what we do have gratitude for what you do have. It's not easy, I understand that. We take for granted so many things, but really focusing on what we do have is what is getting me through as well. I know that I lack some resources. There's some things that I'm going to be needing on my path, but in these times that I don't have that, I'm focusing on what I do have, and I'm focusing on small, maybe some small goals, and at the same time just allowing to surrender, allowing that I don't have all the answers, allowing that I'm really not quite sure where this is going to take me, and really just be in it, just be in the experience, be in the situation, be in the relationships, be in it. And just take a deep breath and take it day by day. For us, many times when we are in sort of a desperation or we do not have direction, we sometimes can fall into that victim mentality. So anyways, gratitude is the one thing. So I appreciate you asking me about that. And that for me is most important. Be grateful for what you have. And don't always be looking for what you do not have. That is a big secret. Okay, in the meantime, I'm wishing you all well. And please, love yourselves. Take care. Talk to you soon.